Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I've got this old lawnmower. It's made by Craftsman. It's called a lawn utility vehicle. And I got it from my son with a couple other mowers that we didn't know if they ran or not. But I took him one that did run and brought back these ones that didn't. And I got one of the Murrays, I got it running. But today I'm going to mess with this old Craftsman. Get it up by the shop and get it cleaned up and see if we can get it to fire up. So this is a Craftsman lawn utility vehicle. It's got like a 6.5 horse or 6 3/4 horse Briggs Intech. So I'm gonna get it up by the shop there and get it cleaned up a little bit and see if we can get it to fire up. And I think because it's got the deck on it, and it looks to be in pretty good shape, I'll lift it up and look at the belts and everything. I got a couple flats I got to deal with, but if it'll cut, I think I'm going to use it out here in the backyard for just leaves, because I make compost. I get a lot of leaves back here that I could potentially bag up and dump them in my composter, my tumbler, or just on the ground. But it's got this pretty big bagger on it that does like a little dump thing or something. Anyway, we'll get it up by the shop and mess with it. I'm gonna go get one of the other mowers and we'll tow it up there. So after rinsing it off, this thing's pretty good shape. I don't think it ever had a pull start. There's a hole there for a rope, but this is the first time I've looked at it right here, right now. But I know the paint, when you clean it up, it's still pretty shiny. Got a little rust here and there, but nothing terrible. Let's take a look in the fuel tank here. Hopefully there's nothing in it. All right, it's dry, so that's a good sign. Hopefully the carburetor, I'm just gonna put some fuel in it and hook a battery up to this. It's got electric starter, and the key seems to be working. It's not rusted up or anything, so let's see if we got any oil here. It does have oil. I did flip it up on the back to rinse it off, so I'm gonna let that oil settle down in there. Yeah, I think I'm just going to put some fuel in it. I'll dry it off a little bit with a blower and put a battery. I got a good battery in this mower here. This is the other one I got. I got it running. I'm actually doing a pulley swap on it, and I'll have to show you guys that later. Putting a smaller pulley on the back so it'll run about 20 miles an hour. Just something to play with out in the woods. We got some trails way out back in the woods. And I picked this one up here for 80 bucks. And it runs. It's got a little bit smaller engine, but we're going to do the same thing. I'm going to do make sure everything works on this. I've got a hydraulic disc brake that we're going to have hand mounted. I'll show you guys that in another video. But if everything works on this one, I'm going to do the same to that one and clean it up and paint it. Like this little one here, this one, it was sitting right next to it, and it's in really, they were both sitting outside, and it's in really good shape too. Very minor, minimal rust. Yeah, so let me get going. Let me blow this thing off, and I'll see if it'll spin over before I put any gas in it. So we'll start with that. And then I got some flat tire issues to deal with here. That one's off the bead, so I don't know about that one. Alright, so I'm not getting any power to the starter yet, so I'm going to take the meter and check a few things, and I'll let you know what I find. Haven't really been able to find anything. Getting power down to this solenoid down here, but when I turn the key it doesn't do anything. It doesn't transfer power. So I took my jumper cable and hooked the positive up, just a straight positive, and we're going to take this one over here. And when I do that, it'll turn the starter. Alright, so starter's good. I don't know if it's the key switch or that solenoid. See if I can figure that out. Alright, so I think it's this solenoid. I have another one that I took off another mower I thought was bad, but I don't think that was the problem, because I'm pretty sure the key switch is good. Let's see if I can hold this here. I got this on volts DC. I got the ground clamped to the ground on the battery. And on this little terminal down here on the solenoid, see if I can, when I put the positive on that little terminal and then I turn the key to start, I get almost 12 volts. It's a little rusty. Let me scratch it a little. Alright. Yeah, 12 volts when I turn the key to start. So it's getting power to that, but it's not getting, so that tells me the key switch is probably good. It's sending power down to that switch. So that tells me the solenoid is probably rusted inside. So let me get the old one swapped out on there and see if it works. Alright, I had time, so I just ran up to a hardware store. They got a lot of lawnmower parts there. Picked up a new solenoid. It's $12. Got a couple other goodies. Some weld-on or bolt-on clevises or shackles for a future project. So anyway, let me let's get this new solenoid on. See if that fixes it. I'll get it swapped out, and I'll let you know before I crank it. Alright, I got the new solenoid on. I got all the safety switches engaged. I got some weight on the seat to hold that one down. There's one for the brake pedal. I got a clamp holding that down. And the bagger has to be on. There's a little lever for that one as well. So let's see if it works. So key on. And we're going to go to crank. Aha, look at that. All right. Crank's good. So let me let me see about, I might just hit it with some starting fluid first. See if it fires. If it does, we'll put some gasoline in it and see if that'll run through there. Yeah, probably a good thing we check that, because this is pretty nasty. This outer cover's really deteriorated. So I'm gonna get that off of there and blow out. Now the inner one looks really good. It looks almost new. Blow that out a little bit. I got some carb cleaner I'll spray in there. Maybe that'll help. Alright, that cleaned up really good. Set that back in there. I got my battery charger hooked up, and I did spray some carb cleaner down in there. So we'll just leave that off. We'll hit it with some starting fluid and see what happens. Put the weight back on the seat. Alright, here goes. Okay, it fired off just with that carburetor cleaner in there, so. Pull the choke. Well, that's a good sign. Hopefully it'll start pulling some fuel through there. I don't want to put too much starting fluid. That's probably a bit more than it should have had, but I guess I'll go ahead and pull that carb and pull the bowl off and see what's going on. I can probably blow it out and get it to work. Alright. See, now that was by itself. I didn't spray anything in it. It could be, fuel could be making its way down in there. This is rubbing on. This isn't supposed to be like that. It's rubbing on the governor spring there. Oh, I think somebody took the cover off. That's supposed to be slid up in there. Let me see if I can fix that. Alright, I got the cover loosened up enough to get that little bracket back in there where it goes, so it's not hitting on the governor rod or the throttle rod. But then as I was doing that, I noticed this. The whole engine's loose, so I gotta, somebody was trying to take it out, I guess, but I'm gonna get those tightened up, and then I'll go ahead and pull the carburetor off. Alright, I got the carburetor off, and it really doesn't look too bad. But I did find out, I was going to check this fuel line, and it's clear, and I got the fuel cap on tight. But watch what happens when I loosen it. The fuel comes out, so I've got a vacuum issue. With this cap on tight here, it's not allowing, it's while it only run for a little bit, then it shuts off. So what I meant to say was a venting issue, so I just have to figure out the vent for that fuel cap. But the carburetor looks pretty good. Had a little bit of gummed up varnish in the bottom of the bowl, but not bad. Cleared all the jets, sprayed some cleaner in there. We're going to put it back together and give it a shot, but I blew air through everything, and everything has air coming through. So let's put it back together and see what happens. Alright, I got the carburetor all put back together, reinstalled, air cleaner cleaned up, put back in. I'm going to leave the fuel cap. I'm just gonna crack it loose until I figure out what's up with the vent here. Could just be that's plugged up there, I'm not sure. So we'll just leave it loose for now. See if this thing's gonna fire up and stay running. We can probably pull the charger off of it. And we'll get on it and see if it moves. It might move, it might not, I don't know. We'll find out here in a minute. Okay. Alright, well it stays running and it does go in gear. Got tire issues. Tires are off the bead, so they're just spinning inside the tire. But it's a posi traction, oddly enough. I think the blade spindle was froze up. I'm gonna have to lube it down and see what's up with that. But yeah, she'll crank up and run now. Let me weight the seat so I don't have to sit on it. And we'll fire it up. Now we gotta. I'm gonna have to put that clamp back on there. That'll hold it so I can crank it up. I just noticed my fuel cap's laying down here. It just vibrated right off. That's not good. Anyway, she runs and she moves. I need to get the tires fixed, flip it over, see what's up with the blade spindle. It's probably just froze up from sitting. But yeah, the new solenoid, that took care of the starting issue. $12 solenoid, and cleaned out the carburetor, but the carburetor wasn't that bad. Get these pedals. I put some oil on them, so we'll oil them down again, let all the joints get freed up and everything. So there you have it. The Craftsman LUV lawn utility vehicle with a 6 3/4 horse Briggs intake. Seems like a good little engine. Transmission shifts from forward to neutral to reverse. I didn't mess with the deck height yet. The blade control feels like it's working. It's just a spring-loaded deal. All right, so I think that's it for this video. We'll get some more time to spend on it, make some more time to spend on it, and get everything working. And I think I'm going to use it. I got a pretty good backyard full of leaves here. I want to try and compost all that up. Get it in my compost tumbler, my pile, one or the other. Anyway, thanks again for watching Projects with Paul, and we'll see you next time.